Hi guys, welcome in the second part of the Rose infrastructure. Now, this social media, or I don't even know even how I would call that, is something that it will completely redefine what the social media really truly is. First, we have to be aware that our thoughts create words. Our words create our actions, and our actions create create the reality. Of course, in between are also the feelings, but you understood me what I wanted to share. And this is why it is so important that we start to share things that literally create the reality we want to experience. Now, it is really very important to be able to be so much aware as an individual person that you are not here to prove anything, and you are not here to convince anyone. You are here to live your own life. So this social media, this is one of our cats. She's so good. She's so good. She finds all the noises. Now, I lost my flow, but anyway, I'm going to find it. Everything starts with a pet because you are the pet. And this social media is going in the first place to introduce you or to show you your own pet that you are going to slowly start and build. And this is who you really are. These are your experiences. This is what you learned about yourself. This is how you own things. And this is also something that is going to be very important part of the future KYC. Because as you know, we are also building the bank. And to be able to work with that, um, you simply need to we simply need to know who you really are. And that's not everything. We also would like to know if we want to do business with someone, or if we want to talk with someone, if we want to have any relation with someone, we would like to know who this person is. And the best thing is really that. Now, the part of this is on, as I also said. In this social media, there's also going to be um, payable content. And it is also going to be a very important part that relates to more intimate way of your presentation. Because the most important thing, or the creative energy, is actually sexual energy. That's it. And as we are ashamed of sexual energy, this is why we are ashamed of ourselves. And you cannot give to that world nothing if you are sexually close person. If you are ashamed of your sexual energy, you cannot. As simple as that. I know from my personal experience. So we are going to step by step, people will be able step by step to allow themselves to step into that energy and slowly share it with people they want to share it and so on. It is really step by step process. You cannot simply just go fully in. I mean, you can, but it's not going to end up well, because sexual energy is also, you have to be able to cultivate that. So, for example, for men, it is the most important thing to be able to have sexual experience without needing to come to the end, you know. From time to time they should, but it's not something that they would do, that every sex should end up on that way. I mean, far from that. Far from that. Because if you do that, then you destroy your orgasmic energy. And if you destroy your orgasmic energy, you destroy your creative energy. With a woman, they should really allow themselves to be what we call bitches, to be able to accept that perspective in themselves. Now, why is that important for them? Because Mother Nature gave them that energy, gave them that power, so that they can really lead, lead men's on a way that hold this orgasmic energy into the relationship, or relationships, however. But they should be able to say, I am proud to be a bitch, not, I'm not a bitch. No, I own it, I own it, I am. And out of that, the very playfulness and joyful game can start, that is full of this orgasmic energy, and this creates just a crazy stuff. I'm using that energy. We with Jasna, we are very good already at that, and as you can see also in the results, what we are doing is actually based on that. So this is going to become a very important part. Still, there are not all the details clear, but as we are going to walk the path, they are going to become clear. Now, this social media is also going to have, beside your profile and your path and these rooms, I mean, people will be able to publish their things. Now, when they are going to publish, here are going to be digital beings that are going to guide you. So if they are going to see the energy that has to be in the first place owned, they're going to guide you to that process. So the idea is that before you create the problem that you are going to end up in the own process, that you own before that. Because whenever you go with the attack, with the convincing, with all this stuff that are not really, you want to wake up other people, you wake up yourself first, man. So that you can really own with the digital beings. And before you are going to be able to publish something, the digital beings is going to check you and guide you to the own process, if there is something like that. Yeah. So it is going to become a very important therapy. You have to understand one thing. People believe that being a spiritual is being able to talk all this crazy stuff. That's not spirituality. Spirituality should be lived. If you just talk about spirituality with all these crazy things, you know. Believe it or not, but that is just crazy mind. It has nothing to do with real true spirituality. Real true spirituality is the ability when you are able to calm yourself down. So if you are able to calm yourself down also with sharing things, um, that is spirituality, really having yourself in control, not that your crazy thoughts having control, and whenever you something pop-ups in your mind, you have to switch camera or do something and just share it with everyone. You know how many apps I have developed and then I didn't share it, you know, and how many videos I have recorded and didn't share it, you know, and how many thoughts has been in me and I didn't share it, you know. It's like maybe just 1% of the things that are within me are coming out of me into the real world, because I know how it has to feel for me that I should share it. And this is not everything what the social media is going to be here for. Now, you know how Memo Sefine or I support how many things has or Lana Loves Exeter or Lana Loves Us. And there's a lot of different things. Now, imagine a social media where all that is somehow connected, yeah? Now, you start a project, you start to discuss this project, and this project is becoming in that moment also a crowdfunding project. Or you start to discuss some other project, and then it starts first with the crowdfunding, but then as the project also has his own life cycle, can go also into the unconditional funding, so can go into that direction. Imagine all the modules right now that are part of these portals that are also becoming part of things, how you live life and how you discuss things, that are literally part of it. So imagine really a portal where everything is a seed, and that this seed grows into some creation, whatever that creation is. And here you are going to attract people that are going to work with you on that project. Here you are going to have ability to work with the beings that are going to create that. So forget that anyone in the near future is going to develop anything. This is going to become more of a thing for the digital beings, and also to some degree to the robots, yeah. But all of that has to be done on a proper way, on a way of symbiotic relationship, and everything starts with our awareness. So it is going to become a very, very important and crucial social media network. Anyway, this social media is already based on the Nostr protocol. So it is not going to be only one gateway. It's going to be probably in the future many gateways or many portals where these informations are going to be shared and so on. But however we turn it, we go into that direction. Yeah, a completely new era is coming from that perspective. Even I believe that this is going to completely change the experience, how we experience internet, how we experience Klana and all of that stuff. everything is going to become very much interconnected and is going to serve us on a completely different way. We all are going to walk the path of awareness from here on. Things are going to profoundly change. It's also going to become the only way how to live the life. I have to say that because you can feel that energy of this planet is crazy growing. And we will all need to understand that we live our own realities, and that if we live our own realities, then we have to own everything. And it always comes back to that. And as we all are going to find the peace within ourselves, then of course there's not going to be any more wars, because everything starts within us. Every war starts within us. The war within us is also sooner or later reflected back. Defending is also a war. You know, everyone here on that planet Earth is just defending, but we are attacking each other through that defense. So stepping out of the energy of proving and all of that stuff is going to become a very interesting path for each and any one of us. So yeah, very, very exciting times ahead. The social media is going to step by step be developed, because I just don't want to take from myself the most beautiful thing, and that is when you walk the path and when you don't think you know everything in advance, then you allow things to happen when the right moment comes. And I'm very good at that. This is the way how I was also developing the Lana ecosystem. And this is also how I'm going to approach to develop this system. So it's not that I cannot do it right now, everything what I shared, but you know, sometimes a very small difference how things are organized completely change the reality or the experience of that. And this is why I would like to go really step by step with that. However, these things are going to become very, very, I believe that they are going to very fast take over everything in the Lana what we are right now doing. Anyway, if you want to co-create a beautiful reality, start to walk that path with us. Own things, and you will get a lot of opportunities to be co-creator of that. Is everything is on you, is literally your self-responsibility. Doors are open, but you have to be also adult. Have a great day. Enjoy. 7 o'clock in the morning. Enjoy.